to the exclusion of all others, voluntarily entered into for life. Could I ask Laura's dad just to step around beside her for a moment? When thinking people conclude what are the real values in life and come to decide what really matters, they usually come back to one common value, and that is human relationships. And one of the understated and deepest relationships in human life is that between a caring father and a loving daughter. One of the rare occasions that this relationship is acknowledged is at a wedding ceremony. Ian represents all of us. He particularly represents his family. But today, in a special gesture, he symbolises his own personal love for his daughter. So mindful of these values, I now ask, who presents this woman to this man? You can give her a kiss and cuddle if you'd like, Dad. Thank you, Dad. I'll just get you to stand back with Mum. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to move on to the hand fasting component of this ceremony. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with this practice, I'll just take a moment to explain its origins to you. Hand fasting is an ancient, nature-related spiritual commitment ceremony. It is a tradition that took place long before weddings became a legal function within the realms of government and Christianity. It is the predecessor of the modern wedding ceremony. While hand fasting was originally practiced all over Europe, it has traditionally been more associated with Celtic tradition. Couples were hand fasted for a trial period, and if love lasted, then their vows were renewed. It is also the origin of that slang saying that I'm sure we all know, to tie the knot. Hand fasting is a symbolic ceremony to honour a couple's desire for commitment to each other, to acknowledge that their lives and their fates are now bound together. Today we are incorporating hand fasting rituals with the legal requirements of the modern wedding ceremony. Simon and Laura, the words that you both will say to each other today will be meaningful and special, yet they are only tools which you must use together in order to create what you seek in this union. I bid you now to look into each other's eyes. Laura, will you cause him pain? Is that your intent? Simon, will you cause her pain? Is that your intent? Will you share each other's pain and seek to ease it? And so the binding is made. If I can now ask you to cross your left and right hands over each other. And could Nicole come forward? Nicole will be our handmaiden for the part of this ceremony. The first cord for you to get out, Nicole, is green. And if you could just drape the cord over the hand. Green is for fertility, for health, and for ambition. Laura, will you share his laughter? Simon, will you share her laughter? To both I say, will you look for the brightness in life and the positiveness in each other? And so the first binding is made. The second cord is yellow. Yellow is for attraction, for charm, for confidence, for balance, harmony, joy and comfort. Laura, will you burden him? Is that your intent? Simon, will you burden her? Is that your intent? I say to you both, will you share the burdens of each so that your spirits may grow in this union? And so the second binding is made. The third cord is white. Thought you lost it. White is for healing, for peace and for truth. Laura, will you share his dreams? Simon, will you share her dreams? To both I say, will you dream to get together to create new realities and hopes? And so the third binding is made. The fourth cord is brown. Brown is for the earth, for nurturing, and for all the animals. Laura, will you cause him anger? Is that your intent? Mum had a little laugh there, Laura. Simon, did you cause her anger? Is that your intent? To both I say, will you take the heat of anger and use it to temper the strength of this union? And so the fourth binding is made. The fifth cord is silver. Silver is for creativity, for inspiration, and for protection. Laura, will you honour him? Simon, will you honour her? To both I say, will you seek to never give cause to break this honour? All have witnessed and heard what has been said. Are there any that say nay? I think the 5 seconds is gone. And so the fifth binding is made. The sixth cord is gold. Gold is for strength, for unity, and for prosperity. Laura, will you offer him your strength? Simon, will you offer her your strength? Will you both use your personal strength to support and guide each other? Before the final binding is made, Simon and Laura will acknowledge the declaration of intent and take their marriage vows, which is back to the more traditional part of the ceremony. Simon, will you take Laura to be your lawful wife? Will you love her, honour and keep her in sickness and health, for richer for poorer, and forsaking all others, keep only unto her for as long as you both shall live? Laura, will you take Simon to be your lawful husband? Will you love him, honour and keep him in sickness and health, for richer or poorer, forsaking all others, keep only unto him for as long as you both shall live? Simon and Laura will now say their marriage vows. Simon, if you could repeat these words after me. I call upon the persons here to witness.
I call upon the persons here to witness.
That I, Simon Douglas Gillett,
That I, Simon Douglas Gillett,
take you, Laura Elizabeth Cooper,
take you, Laura Elizabeth Cooper,
to be my lawful wedded wife.
to be my lawful wedded wife.
I take you, Laura, to be my wedded wife,
I take you, Laura, to be my wedded wife,
to laugh with you in joy,
to laugh with you in joy,
to grieve with you in sorrow,
to grieve with you in sorrow,
to grow with you in love,
to grow with you,
serving one another
serving